students, welcome in March maths classes, and please go through the link and subscribe the channel and link share also. This is the chapter 6 and we will do MCQs of this chapter. The chapter name is Introduction to Euclid's Geometry and these MCQs are taken from R.S. Agrawal. The first is, in ancient India, the shapes of altars used for household rituals were. And the altars means the raised structure or place that is used for sacrifice, worship or prayer. Or we can say the raised structure that is the center of religious ceremony. So for household rituals, it would be the shape of squares and circles. So mark the option B and see the second. In ancient India, altars with combination of shapes like rectangles, triangles and trapezium were used for, and these are the shape and it is a combination of shapes. So this will used for public rituals, and in first the squares and circle for household rituals. This is the difference. Now come to the third. Now just one more meaning of altars which is very used, Vedi or Vedika, and this is the used for religious ceremony, Vedi or Vedika. So for household rituals, squares and circles, and public rituals, combination of rectangles, triangles and trapeziums. So don't forget it. And third, the number of interwoven isosceles triangle in Sri Yantra is 9. 9 isosceles triangle makes Sri Yantra. Next, in Indus Valley civilization about BC 3000, the bricks used for construction work were having dimensions in the ratio of. So what was the ratio that time? 4:2:1. So learn it. Next, number 5. Into how many chapters was the famous treatise The Elements divided by Euclid? Elements was the famous book of Euclid and it is divided into 13 chapters. So mark the option A. Next, Euclid belongs to the country. The option is Greece, and this Elements book has the wonderful results based on geometry. So don't forget the contribution of Euclid, who was a great mathematician. Next is Thales belongs to the country. Same, which Euclid belongs, Thales also belongs to the Greece. Next, Pythagoras was a student of Euclid, Thales, Archimedes or Bhaskara. So which option will be? Pythagoras was a student of Thales. Next, which of the following needs a proof? Definitely, we have studied in previous video. Theorem required proof. The statement that the lines are parallel if they do not intersect is in the form of a definition, an axiom, a postulate, a theorem. So it is a definition. Mark, because theorem needs a proof, and axiom is a true statement, and postulate is just same as axiom. Now next, Euclid stated that all right angles are equal to each other in the form of an axiom. So mark 11. Just wait. axioms are the true statement, and it is a postulate. So why it is postulate? Because postulates belongs to geometry, so it should be the option C, and axiom belongs to whole mathematics. Next, a pyramid is a solid figure whose base is option triangle, only a square, only a rectangle, any polygon. It may be any polygon for the base, and in pyramid all the faces meet at a point. So option D is correct, any polygon, the base of pyramid. And in 11th, here postulate means specific to geometry, so don't forget this special point for postulate. Next, the side faces of a pyramid are, because pyramids all faces meet a point, and the side faces will be the shape of triangles, so mark the option A. Next, the number of dimensions of a solid are, option C is correct, because a solid has length, breadth and height, so it would be option C. The number of dimensions of a surface is, a surface is a plane figure, it has 2 dimensions, so mark the option B. Next, how many dimensions does a point have? 0, 1, 2 or 3? No dimension, because point has no length, no breadth, no height. Boundaries of solids are, any solid, not line, curves, that is called the surfaces. It may be curved surface, plane surface, rough surface, but it is called surfaces, so mark the option C. Next, boundaries of surfaces are, number 18. Boundaries of surfaces are curves, mark the option B. See the example, this is the eraser. In question number 17, boundaries of solids are, this is the solid, and boundaries of solids, here these are the boundary, so these are surfaces. And boundaries of surfaces, take the surface, any surface, suppose this surface I am taking, top surface, and boundary of this surface, these are making closed curve in this shape, see, like this shape, so this is the closed curve, and the shape of boundaries of a surface are curve, not lines, so don't be confused in both the questions 17 and 18. Here boundaries of solids, and here boundaries of surfaces. Surfaces, see the boundaries, you will get the figure like this is the shape of a polygon, but it is also a closed curve. Any other shape you will get, suppose you will get such figure, this is also curve. Next question, I think I should take one more example to clear both these points. The boundaries of solid, this is the solid, and this solid has the boundary which is called the surface. This surface is called, this upper part whole covering, means this is the surface. And what is the boundary of this surface? 18th question, which is, suppose you are taking boundary of this surface. So this is the circular boundary. See here, this is the shape of circular upper top part. Okay, the top part boundary of this surface is like this. So this is the curve. Now solid's boundary is surface and surface boundary makes curves. Next question. The number of planes passing through three non-collinear points is. The number of planes passing through three non-collinear points is, because all the points lies in a plane, so the option D is correct. All the point lies in one plane. Axioms are assumed. A. Definitions. B. Theorems. C. Universal truth specific to geometry. This is for postulate. And universal truths in all branches of mathematics. This is for axiom. Option D. Mark. Which of the following is a true statement? The floor and a wall of a room are parallel planes. Floor and wall not, because these are perpendicular. The ceiling and a wall of a room are parallel planes. Both these are perpendicular, ceiling and wall. Floor and ceiling of a room are parallel. Yes, these are parallel. See in your room, see the floor and the ceiling, both are parallel to each other. Two adjacent walls of a room are parallel planes. No, these also perpendicular to adjacent wall. Next, which of the following is a true statement? See the options. Which of the following is a true statement? Only a unique line can be drawn to pass through a given point. So many lines means infinitely many lines you can draw from a given point. So it is not correct. Infinitely many lines can be drawn to pass through two given points? No, only one line can be passed through two given points. So this is also wrong. If two circles are equal, then their radii are equal. Yes, this is correct. A line has a definite length? No. Line can extended in both the direction and you can't measure the length of line. So mark the option C. Next. Which of the following is a false statement? Note this point, false. An infinite number of lines can be drawn to pass through a given point? Yes, this is true. A unique line can be drawn to pass through two given points? Yes, this is also true. Ray AB is equal to ray BA. Wrong, because here the origin of ray which is A, like this. This ray start from this point which is A and this is extend in one direction. It is AB, and if you are showing BA, it means the origin should be B, but here A is the origin. So this is the false statement. Option C. A ray has one endpoint. Yes, because it started from one point and extend endlessly in other direction. And not other, it starts from one point and extend endlessly in one direction, not other direction. Point C is called the midpoint of a line segment AB if C is an interior point of AB. Suppose this is the line segment A and this is B, and C is an interior point. It may be at any position, suppose here. So this is not show the midpoint, suppose this is C. So AC is not equal to CB. This is not the midpoint. So option A is wrong. AC is equal to CB. AC, suppose C, this point is C. So AC is equal to CB. But here it is showing line segment. So we are taking in place of, suppose C is the interior point of AB. AC is equal to AB, CB may be C here, and this is the point C. This is A, this is B. AC is equal to CB. So you cannot say that this is the midpoint. Now option C, C is an interior point of AB such that AC is equal to CB. Now this is the point AC is equal to CB, and here showing line segment of this particular line segment AB. So this is very close to our option, correct option, and AC plus CB is equal to AB. So it is also not necessary that, suppose this is the AB and C is the point. So AC plus CB, not showing that it is the midpoint. Okay, here option D is not showing that C is the midpoint, because AC plus CB, okay, is equal to AB, but here this is not, seems that C is the midpoint. Option C is our correct option. These are showing line segments from the line segment AB where C is the midpoint. A point C is said to be lie between the points A and B if AC is equal to CB. Here same, this is not showing that ABC are collinear. Here C lie between AB, it means they should be collinear. AC, this is the C, this is the A, and this is the B. So AC is equal to CB. So here this option is not fit for our question. AC plus CB is equal to AB. This plus this is equal to AB. This is also not for lie. Both the a point C is said to be lie between the point A and B if. This is not correct. Point A, C and B are collinear. Suppose A, C and B, these are collinear. In this position, C always lie between A and B. If suppose this is the point A and this is the point B, and point C is some other, suppose here C. So join these A and B. Whenever this point C not lie on this, or you can say collinear, okay, otherwise it will not lie on the in between of A and B. So option C is correct. Euclid's which axiom illustrates the statement that when x plus y is equal to 15, then x plus y plus z is equal to 15 plus z. Here we add z on both the side, LHS or and RHS. And Euclid's second axiom says if equals are added to equals, then wholes are equal. Here these are equal, x plus y is equal to 15, and equals are added. which is z added here left and here right also. So equals are added, then wholes are equal. So this is in the second axiom. Next question. A is 27. A is of the same age as B and C is of the same age as B. Euclid's which axiom illustrates the relative ages of A and C? Here A is same as age of B and C is also the same age as B. A and C both are equal to the same age of B. So in the first axiom, what the first axiom says, if the things which are equal to the same thing are equal to one another. So this is the first axiom and option A is correct. So students, all the MCQs of this chapter Euclid's geometry has finished now, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe the video. Thank you.